Level 1, $0. The most expensive thing you will ever own costs $4, and right now you cannot afford it. You are standing at a gas station counter at 6:14 inches the morning, counting coins into your palm for a paper cup of coffee, and you are 11 cents short. The man behind you sighs. The clerk waits. And then a hand reaches over your shoulder with a $5 bill and a voice says, "I got it, man." That is Marcus. You went to high school together. He drives a car that starts every time. He does not wait for you to say thank you. You are about to spend 20 years and $100 million trying to be the one holding the 5. You drink the coffee in your car because your apartment does not have a working machine, and the car is warmer than the apartment. Your account says $14.07. Rent is in 9 days and rent is $850. When you do the math, you do it out loud, alone, because there is no one to do it quietly for. You apply to a warehouse job that afternoon. The assistant manager, a guy named Cole, looks at your application for 4 seconds and says, "You do not seem like management material, but they always need bodies for nights. Nights pay an extra $10 an hour. You take nights. The shift starts at 11 and ends at 7, and the warehouse is the only place on earth where someone expects you to show up." At this level, the world does not treat you badly. It does something worse. It does not treat you at all. You are not a person to be helped or hurt. You are weather that happened to walk in. Nobody is rude to weather. Nobody remembers it either. Remember the cup? It is the only thing in this entire story that never changes price. Level 2, $27,000. You can buy the coffee now without counting, and this feels enormous. And it is the smallest thing that will ever happen to you. The clerk learns your order. 2 months of the same nod across the same counter, and a stranger remembers you exist. That is what 27,000 buys. Existence, witnessed by one person who is paid to stand there. Your phone stops being a thing you are afraid to open. You pay rent on the 1st instead of the 9th, and the difference between those two numbers is the difference between sleeping and lying awake doing arithmetic at 3 a.m. You buy a coffee machine for the apartment, $89, and then you keep buying the gas station cup anyway, because the cup is a ritual and the machine is just a machine. Cole still runs the floor. He calls you champ in a way that is not kind. You notice that nobody asks you for anything, and you mistake that for peace. Nobody asks you for anything because you have nothing anyone wants yet. The silence around you is not respect. It is the market quietly deciding you are not worth a phone call. You are about to become worth a phone call. You will spend the next 18 years missing the silence. Level 3, $100,000. You started something small and it worked, and you wear the same jacket you wore at the warehouse. But now you drive a better car. And the better car is the first thing people see before they see you. Marcus texts. 3 days after you post a photo of the car, exactly 3 days, Marcus texts. "Yo, we should catch up. Been too long." You notice the gap and you say nothing about it. You will notice the gap many more times before this is over. 72 hours between good news leaving your hands and a warm message arriving in them. 3 days. Write that number down somewhere in your chest. The coffee comes from a real cafe now, $4.75, and a barista writes your name on the cup and spells it wrong, and you keep it anyway, because it is the first cup with your name on it, even if the name is not quite right. People are friendly now. The friendliness arrived the same week the car did. You tell yourself those two facts are unrelated. You already know they are not. There is a question underneath every conversation now, and it has changed shape, but you cannot hear it yet. You will learn that the question never changes. Only the vocabulary around it does. Level 4. $500,000. Your mother calls on a Tuesday. She does not know the number, the real one, the one in the account. She asks if you are eating. She asks if you are sleeping enough. She asks, the way she has asked for 10 years, whether you have met anyone kind. There is no ask underneath the ask. She wants nothing from you except that you be okay. You sit on the kitchen floor with the phone against your ear and a $4 coffee going cold beside you, and you realize this is the only phone call in 31 days that did not arrive 3 days after something good happened to you. You almost tell her the number. You don't. Not because you are hiding it, but because the number would change the way even she says your name, and her voice is the last voice on earth that still says it the old way. You let her think you are doing fine. You are doing fine. You are also, for the first time, beginning to understand a short and permanent fact. There are people whose warmth you will never once have to audit, and you can count them on one hand, and the hand is not going to fill up. Drink the coffee while it is still just coffee. This is the warmest the air will be for a long time. Level 5, $1.2 million. Now you are a millionaire, and the word does something to a room a full second before you enter it. Marcus does not text about catching up anymore. Marcus texts about an opportunity. He has a friend. The friend has a deal. The deal needs a small commitment of $200,000, and would you take a quick call Thursday? The gap has shrunk. It used to be 3 days. Now it is 40 minutes between your news reaching him and his ask reaching you. You start timing it, the way you once counted coins into your palm. The coffee is delivered now. An assistant named Priya leaves it on your desk at 8:55 every morning, $4 charged to a card you never see, and you have not stood in an actual line in 14 months. You miss the line, and you cannot say so out loud because it would sound insane to everyone you pay. There was a man in that line once, a roofer, who used to tell you about his daughter while you both waited, and you never knew his name, and that 90 seconds was more honest than any meeting on your calendar this quarter. At this level, you learn the first hard law. Comfort is the product. You are the account. Everyone who arrives with a smile arrives with a balance sheet. And the warmer the smile, the more slowly you should read the columns. You do not want to believe this. You are about to be handed proof you cannot return. Level 6, $10 million. The proof arrives at a dinner you did not plan and cannot leave. 11 people, and you are paying for all 11, and not one of them has asked a single question about you, the actual you. They are asking the version of you that signs things. A woman 2 seats down laughs at something you said that was not funny, and you watch the laugh start a full half second after she decides to start it. You begin measuring the half seconds. The gap between a person's instinct and a person's performance is where the truth lives, and at $10 million, everyone around your table has trained that gap down to almost nothing. Almost. Then Cole, from the warehouse, 20 years gone, sends a message. He has heard about your company. He wonders if there might be a role for someone with his experience. You read it 4 times. 2 decades ago, he gave you nights because you were not management material. You do not reply with anything cruel. You do not reply at all, and the silence you send him is the exact silence the world once sent you, and it does not feel the way you spent 20 years assuming it would feel. It feels like nothing. That is the part no one warns you about. Power is not the ability to hurt the people who hurt you. It is discovering, too late to enjoy it, that you no longer need to. Level 7. $40 million. You stop being a person and start being a structure. There are documents now between you and everyone, and the documents have a name: non-disclosure. People sign before they are allowed to know you, which means every single person who knows you has signed a promise to pretend the knowing never happened. Your coffee is sourced. A man flies the beans in from a farm at 9,000 feet, and a second man roasts them in small batches. And the result is poured into the same $4 paper cup because someone on your team decided the paper cup was charming. A story, a humble little detail for the profile the magazine is writing about you. The cup you could not afford, at 6:14 inches the morning, 11 cents short, is now a costume you wear for a photographer. You hold it and you remember the exact weight of being 11 cents short. And you cannot tell anyone at this table that story, because at this table, that story is no longer a memory, it is content. You are surrounded by people. You are completely alone. Those two sentences occupy the same space and do not argue with each other. The gap you used to measure in days, you now measure in seconds. And the most honest human moment you have had all week came from a valet who did not recognize you and told you to have a good one. Level 8. $100 million. At the top, the air is very clean and very quiet, and nobody anywhere treats you like weather that wandered in off the street. They treat you like the building the weather happens to. Marcus stopped calling a year ago, after the last deal went the way deals go, and then on a Tuesday he sends a single long message with no ask anywhere inside it, just words saying he has been thinking about that morning at the gas station, the $5. How strange a life can turn out. You read it 9 times. You cannot tell whether it is the truest thing anyone has said to you in a decade or the most expensive thing anyone has ever tried to buy. That is the disease at this altitude. You have lost the ability to know the difference. Every kindness now has a column it might secretly belong to, and you have read so many balance sheets that you read the people you love like documents, scanning for the ask, and you hate that you do it, and you do it anyway, every time. You have 9 cars and 4 houses and a coffee that costs $40 to make and $4 to serve. There are 300 people in your phone and you trust the valet. And you would trade a measurable fraction of all of it to be 11 cents short again, just once, in front of a man who paid without waiting to be thanked. So you drive yourself, no security, no assistant, to a gas station off the highway at 6:14 inches the morning, the way you used to, and you buy a paper cup of coffee for $4. And the man ahead of you in line is counting coins into his palm, and he comes up short. You reach over his shoulder with a bill, and you say, "I got it, man!" and you do not wait for the thank you. He has no idea who you are. He will never know the number. For 1 full minute, under the fluorescent light, you are weather again. You are nobody. You are just a stranger who covered a coffee, and the cup is warm in your hand. The same cup. The same $4. The only thing in 20 years that never once changed its price. It cost you nothing. It is the most expensive thing you have felt in years. If this one stayed with you, leave a thought below. Subscribe for more.